What's happening? So, some Sony news for people who have a hard time understanding what I mean when I say Sony is making money as fast as they're losing it. Okay, I understand people have never understood where I'm coming from, and I don't necessarily have the ability to express the right way for that to sound. So, Engadget has a nice little article that explains it way better than I ever could. So, of course, I want you to go check it out and then come back. So, now you pause the video and you went and read the thing. You kind of get where I'm coming from now, right? Yes, PlayStation is making money for Sony, but their other products, because Sony makes more than PlayStation, is losing all that money. Okay? PlayStation is profitable. It's obviously profitable because it's the only thing making Sony any money. Meanwhile, Sony has all these other divisions that they have not yet closed for some fucking reason, even though they're losing money in each one of them. Sony still has them. So you have this huge pile of money that they're just like being handed from the bank. The bank's hand, oh hey, you gave me a nice stack of money, cool, and they just kind of throw it in the into the trash can or in the fucking toilet, depending on how you want to look at that. That's basically what they're doing. They're just flushing all this profit down the toilet because they can't keep any of this money because their other divisions are failing, and Sony as a company as a whole is at best breaking even because the PlayStation brand has to keep the entire company afloat. And the best you can hope for is to break even here. Just off of that, and I've said this before, and I know it's not the most popular of things, but if PlayStation was able to vacate from Sony, if they were able to break away and just become PlayStation instead of Sony PlayStation, they were just able to become PlayStation, kind of like Nintendo, we would see Sony cease to exist. That's how bad the company is. The only thing making them money is PlayStation. I would prefer to see PlayStation at this point get the hell out of there before it gets terrible. Because we don't know what's going to happen with the PlayStation 5, and considering their running history here. I'm considering their running history. I'm sorry. If you want to say it didn't happen that way, you're full of shit. But as of right now, PlayStation sits kind of in the same position going into the 5th generation as they were going into the 3rd. PlayStation has the number factors here to where they can have their head jammed so far up their ass that the PS5 turns out to be a huge, whopping, steaming pile of horse shit. Okay? That can happen. This is Sony after all, and they have done that. Okay, they let their head get so big because of the PS2 and yet failed so bad with the PS3, which, again, they were apologetic with the PS4. You notice they calmed a lot of that shit down, right? And now they've got that, that huge gaping number between Xbox and PlayStation that they can go into the next generation with their heads on swole again. We've seen them do it this gen. They've kind of been a little arrogant more than they should be. They've been a little bit more, arrogant. They've been a little bit more than they ought to have. Because remember, Sony PlayStation, they were hemorrhaging money bad. Could you imagine if the PS4 didn't catch on like it did? Imagine where the company would be. I'm just saying, I know we don't like to talk about things like that over here in happy go fanboy Sony Ponyland, but unfortunately, Sony is not just PlayStation, and articles like this are explaining why I'm saying this, and why I have said this, and I will continue to say it. because it's 100% true. I honestly think that if PlayStation slowed down its money flow and it wasn't that profitable anymore, Sony would just be SOL and PlayStation would cease to exist. And then with Xbox, well, that's Microsoft, they can always fall back on PC. And that's never going to go nowhere. So there's a safety net in you know, it's ready to go if Xbox gets to the point where they just can't even release anything. Hell, I think at this point, PC, you guys are pretty much supporting Xbox. Considering I can't see Xbox turning a profit. Considering I swear to God, they've always said they lost money with each Xbox. The company actually loses money for making Xboxes. The last I heard. Now, I don't know if that's true now, but that's the last I heard. So, I mean, Microsoft could pull the plug and turn Xbox into a huge digital thing to go up against Steam. And they could, you know, they could legitimately go that route. So, oh my God, you got to take that into consideration. You know what I mean? Xbox has a safety net. PlayStation does not. Okay, Nintendo does not. You feel me? Nintendo is its own company. If Nintendo goes under, Nintendo goes under. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I think PlayStation, if you get your heads on swole again, y'all might end up fucking yourselves. And you might end up closing your doors. I don't think you can survive another PS3 fiasco. Alright? I'm just being honest, and I know you've thought it, you just didn't want to say it. Well, here you go, I'm saying it. And articles like the one in the link kind of describe how I'm talking about PlayStation when I am talking about PlayStation. Because Sony owns PlayStation. So if I say PlayStation, I'm talking about Sony. And if I say Sony, I'm talking about PlayStation. And I am being honest when I say PlayStation is profitable. I am telling you the truth, I'm not lying. They're profitable. Sony, on the other hand, is not. That's what this article is telling you. And they're saying it in a whole other way that I could never say it. So go check it out. You know what I'm saying? And I'll see you guys next time.